Hello and welcome to the video. Today I will be going through the Inscription skill for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. The Inscription profession will add a lot to the game, like Darkmoon Fair decks, armor and weapon vellums, shoulder enchants and glyphs. To get you launch ready so that you aren't left behind, you will want to prepare yourself before pre-patch, so I have the instructions for leveling your skill day 1 of pre-patch and the launch so that you don't have to buy overpriced herbs on the auction house or try hunting herbs through Kalimdor or Outland when you would rather be in Northrend. Before the launch of pre-patch and leading up to it, herbs are only going to get more and more expensive. I recommend that you gather them yourself. If you haven't already, you can download the Handy Nodes add-on with the GatherMate extension and all the nodes will appear on your zone map. Unless you've leveled your herbalism skill separately, you won't be able to gather herbs through Northrend. If you plan on buying them, it will be expensive, especially when you want to level to 450 because the launch of Wrath will be the highest price of herbs for the entire expansion. There are a few items that you can grab that will help you farm more efficiently than anyone else. Since at the beginning of Wrath we will be stuck on the ground using our ground mounts until we reach level 80, we'll have to take every advantage we can get. At level 80 we can buy our Tome of Coldwinter Flying from Dalaran, which is bind on account so that our alts don't have to be level 80 to get one. Herbalist gloves from Leatherworking that have a passive bonus of 5 herbalism, and the enchant of advanced herbalism for gloves for 5, for a total of 10. Because of that, it will increase your yield of herbs, getting more herbs for the time that you spend. You might already know this, but when you gather herbs, you'll need to mill herbs into pigment. To mill pigment, you'll need 5 of a herb. So you won't be able to have 2 Peace Bloom and 3 Silverleaf. Each mill yields 2 common pigment and a chance for a rare pigment. Most pigments only go into one type of ink, except alabaster, which can be turned into both Moonglow and Ivory. As you progress through the profession, each ink will require a different amount of pigment, but with my guide you'll have the right amount of common and rare pigment. I've also added the number of herbs per category, so this should help you get the right amount of the right herb. This is just enough herbs to get you to 350, which is the minimum level before you can learn Northern Inscription and mill Northern herbs. But you'll have beaten the rush, and on pre-patch launch you can just grab your Inscription skill and start leveling. Keep some gold on you for parchment and skill training, and the rest of this video is going to be for whenever Inscription is added to the game. Head to the Inscription trainer and learn the skill, and buy 80 light parchment, 130 common parchment, and 130 heavy parchment. Partway through, at level 300, you'll need to go from whatever major city you are in to Outland, either on a hold or Thrallmar, where you'll find the Outland Inscription trainer that will teach you Master Inscription. The final part of this guide will be to get you to 450 during Wrath, which will be difficult to do at launch, so keep in mind there will be competition with others for herbs as well as lag. Get yourself the add-on Nova World Buffs. That will tell you which layer you are on, and if you can't find any nodes or being ganked, ask random people from a different layer for an invite. Get as far away from the main bases as you can, and if you are well equipped, move on to the next area where people won't be yet. Just make sure you have sufficient herbalism skill. You'll need 380 herbs. With a bit of luck, people are going to be focusing on leveling for the first week, and you can farm out and collect the herbs. Jumping forward to when you are done, now that you have 380 Northern herbs, here is the list of items to get you to 450 in as short amount of time as possible. Once you reach 430, that means that all you can do is Inscription research until you reach 450. Armor and weapon vellum will be used by enchanters to sell enchantments on the auction house. You can make tarot cards for Darkmoon Fair decks that will sell on the auction house pretty well, because they are the only viable way to get your reputation too exalted with them. If you'd like to know why you would want to do that, you can watch my video about the insane title and how to get it. At skill 400 you picked up your shoulder enchants, so keep those in mind when you're equipping new shoulder armor. Most things that you can make are major and minor glyphs. They are the first kind of borrowed power that Blizzard came up with. They change the way abilities play, how much damage they do, they shorten cooldowns, or just change the appearance of something. They are consumable and will be in very high demand at first, and they will also increase the price of herbs and flasks on the auction house while the economy settles. You'll be able to make more money if you focus on the demand of each glyph. Keep training and researching more varieties of glyphs to make, the more types the better. Primarily DPS and those that influence combat in some way will be the most popular. Who knows, if you're lucky you could be the only person on the server that could make a certain glyph at some point. Congrats on completing Inscription. I think I've gone on for long enough. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have gotten something out of it. I haven't made a video in a very long time, so I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe and get notified for when I release new content. And